attempting to fathom where a country is on the economic rise, and by the same token, we're sending public servants home. So in our view, on the part of the Independent Media Workers Association of Guyana, we believe it's a sad day in the history of Guyana. It's a sad day in the history of the media fraternity in Guyana.
But do you think the rationale is clear? Because I know on behalf of the Government Information Agency, the discrepancy they have with GINA is the fact that the information is more or less biased information that we put forward.
All right, let me say from the onset, being a former officer, an executive producer at the Government Information Agency, the Government Information Agency has no business with balance. Balance is not part of the modus operandi or the operating procedures of the Government Information Agency. I believe it's ludicrous, and I hate to think it's ignorance on the part of the members of the opposition. If it is, I believe it's deliberate ignorance that members of the opposition would insist that GINA be more balanced in its reportage. I believe that GINA, every government in every country on the face of this earth is entitled to its own information agency or information arm or a ministry of information of its own, if it were. And I think it's preposterous to think that the Government Information Agency, for example, would be singled out in this manner. There's only one word to describe it, and that word is vendetta. I see this personally, and we see it in the media fraternity. We ought to see it in the media fraternity as one word: vendetta.
And with respect to the National Communications Network, I know they have the widest reach, and I'm sure most of those persons out there, the populace who depend on the information and the reach of NCN, they would also be affected in terms of being deprived of information.
Well, as it relates to the National Communications Network, I'm going to say straight off the bat that we are going to get back to the drawing board tomorrow, or the management of the National Communications Network. We will assess where our future lies, and I'm sure NCN is going to find a way to overcome this.
I think it is absolute callousness, it's absolute irresponsibility. They've shown that they're not responsible, and I think that the people of Guyana will have a say. And you know, I've kept hearing them talking about the majority. The people of Guyana did not vote any majority. I want the EFC to go to Barbies tomorrow and tell the people that voted for them that they voted for them to join Apnu. They sent a message out to the other media to say they didn't take anybody's job. GINA's budget was cut by 100%. 100%. Isn't that taking away jobs? So they're being dishonest on top of being callous. And that dishonesty must be exposed. I say they are being hypocritical. It's absolute hypocrisy. And it's an anti-people thing. Today we have seen real proof of who stand with the citizens of this country, with our brothers and sisters.
Regardless of what any of us say here tonight, the bottom line is that your jobs are no longer there because of their action. And we must let them know this. It's not about your jobs alone, it's about your families. I know many people here who have families who depend on them. And I want to say that as a minister, as the PPP civic government has always done, we are going to lobby solidarity behind you tomorrow. And this, I want to say to you that whatever is the option, whatever is the outcome, that we will have to be in this together.
I join with my colleagues in opposing these cuts. They are unconscionable. They will obviously affect a large professional staff. And I think someone made the point that there are a lot of journalists who benefited from training on the GINA. who are now working in the private sector. And I think they should come out in solidarity with their colleagues, because this is a threat to the livelihood.
The opposition felt the heat and, staggering from the scorn and disdain of their supporters, desperately tried to explain that the cuts were not irreversible. They said that government could apply to the parliament for a supplementary budget. However, this attempt has failed, since according to the laws of Guyana, a supplementary budget could only recover about $10 billion, whereas $21 billion has been cut from the budget. Meanwhile, the indigenous peoples of Guyana reeled in shock, as 96% of the budget cuts were aimed towards their development.
Why did they just fall?
There's a great loss to us. This is, it's something that takes you right back. Like say in the 70s, when we had wanted these things, So we went, instead of going forward, we're going right back now. We make 10 steps backward now with these things. And I feel greatly betrayed by our Armenian brothers and sisters who stand with this, who supported them because we are betrayed. We will call them, Judas, because they betrayed us. As Armenian brothers and sisters, they betrayed us. They become Judas to us now. Why is it? What they will benefit from this?
I feel that the opposition has done a great wrong to the Amerindians of Guyana, because everybody is looking forward towards development, be it educational, be it physical and social, and this cut that has been done by the opposition has really made me feel sorry, and not only for the community of Sawario, but all Amerindians in Guyana.
We were so proud about our government with our solar panel and our laptop for each household. But now at the end, everything has gone down, and now we are very sad about this. It hurt all the people.
And tikimanawan government ikin itapan id kutea ikina waynaw wapchannaw awnan tan ipat ka tan waynaw ay Gigi AFC pat ka itajon waynaw government tapan dan an waynaw ika anong kiajon the opposition dan aw na naitpan ungwar aw na naitpan ni maskay ika anong kian tiki now opposition now ba ajutinyan waynaw at wapchan now imarijan waynaw kunay nam iparadan ay itkon now ikay kaptan waynaw wapchan now iri katish. Thank you. This government has been ruling for long years and years, since when I was young, and then I became a mother, and all this education that he had for us, and everything that he is doing with us, so good. Why is it now the oppositions are doing this to us, cutting the budget, what the government is given to us? In all these years, and here, I am very sad about it. I am an Amerindian woman.
I feel what the opposition should have done should have been better in terms of like thinking about the Amerindian people. and I'm really upset.
We want to live a brighter future, not a dark one.
I just feel a bit emotional. Even though that under the previous congressship that we welcome this so-called, I would use the term so-called, people who are representing the interests of the Amerindians. I'm an Amerindian man. Their message was somewhat a powerful message. They came very good. We give them the privilege to utilize what the same government who they are hurting. We welcome them. It was better for them to be welcome under Kalimitri or somewhere.
We had a lot of projects indicated some time back. It was a big promising that Amerindians were to get a lot of benefits, laptops to each homes, and then the solar lights to households, to each homes, and things like that. And suddenly now it cut out. So what will happen now to the LCDS funds that will be coming from the Norway now? What are we or what the government or what the opposition or who handling it will do? Because the LCDS money is supposed to buy the laptops and the solar lights for us. Mostly the hinterlands, they need these solar lights, not mostly in Georgetown. As you see going about, we have a lot of satellite areas. They had few came in some time back, and everybody did not get in the outlying areas, and Al-Karasabai, we didn't get any, not one. And that is what really the people, the Amerindians were looking forward to, the solar light. Even though they mightn't get the internet or laptop, it's not important to them much. But the light, the solar light is very, very much important. And they were really disappointed. They have to do something about it.
I support the two ministers who stood up in Parliament to support our cause, the Indigenous cause. Now, it is sad to know that we in the hinterland area are facing problems. See, the people on the coastline and people living in Georgetown, they're not facing as what we are facing. And it is sad to know what the opposition have done. Is this love for the indigenous people?
If it's how we go that okay, we're going to survive. And what we expected, like as she was saying, our land to be taken for our land and different things. No, we can't get it because we can't expect it. No. But we hope that she'll stand strong for us. That in later days we'll get things better. What they've done is not right. We cut the borders too. I don't know. How they cut the borders now, how the country will survive. How you get things on foot and what have you. But the two parties have to fight it and see who's in the battle. We're looking forward to our support, the minister. We're happy to have her here.
We have a lot of plans that we have for this year. We hear the budget cut, so we left everyone silent. Maybe we have something good for this year for the community. But during to hear in the budget cut, the plans will be already through. So we have to make another plan now toward this community. But we don't have no, for this new election, we don't have any, we cannot yet until tomorrow. I don't know if my brother and sister have anything to say about the budget today. But as what you say, people will come and talk about it. And we will have to prepare for these people who will come. As I already told us,